guess tell me a little bit about this Overstock thing.
Man, this is big news right here. Overstock.com is becoming the first major crypto company to pay its taxes in crypto.
So that means they're paying the company's taxes.
So the company's state taxes. So it's in the state of Ohio, which if you remember a couple months ago, they came out and legalized, maybe not really legalized, just started accepting Bitcoin payments for people's taxes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The government did.
Yep. So
yeah,
the company in that has to pay their state taxes, and they're going to pay it in crypto.
So that's pretty good then for the mainstream.
And oh yeah, I mean this is
if that
huge.
gets out, hopefully other people can start using that to their advantage.
Now we have a government entity actually accepting crypto as payment, as value. Now they are going to immediately sell it once they get it. So they're going to use a third party, sell the Bitcoin as soon as they get it.
The government.
Yeah, the government, the state of Ohio.
Probably use like Coinbase or Changelly, one of them companies to just exchange it real quick.
Well, man, this is big because it does give a use case for crypto. Because imagine, having to pay hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in taxes,
company taxes,
and the bank or the credit union, whoever you have your account through, charges you a huge transaction fee.
Oh yeah. See,
let's say they're charging 3%, you got to pay $2 million. Well, that adds up. And if you recall from a couple months ago, CZ, the CEO of Binance, they transferred $600 million for $6. He posted on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. And I also saw, along those same lines, Ashton Kutcher, his investment team that he's with, they invested in Ripple, and they transferred like $250 million for like 3 cents.
Now, that's the whole point of it. That's the use case of it right there.
And he was on Ellen DeGeneres' show talking about this.
And people don't understand, like, a bank would have charged you tens of thousands, $100,000 just to make that transaction. Bitcoin.
But why?
All the paperwork, all the people they have to pay to stamp, to stamp the document, to send it electronically, and
somebody else has to approve
the insurance, and get it reversed.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is just a clearinghouse. That's all it is, just a clearinghouse.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that all that money can be saved
just by adopting this technology, and it's easier to use than people understand right now. And people they think they get overwhelmed by it, and it's really not that overwhelming.
No.
But like we said, the case for Bitcoin and cryptos are there. They're there. It's just which ones are gonna make it through the bear market.
Do you know of any other places that accept crypto?
Oh, there's really it's hitting big online.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's kind of how PayPal weaseled its way into the payment service, is online payments.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to punch in your credit card every time anymore.
Quick and easy.
Yeah. It just seemed a little bit more secure. And if you like security, with Bitcoin, you don't give your card information.
True. And it's basically like you're the holder of your bank account information.
You hold the gold, yeah.
So don't lose it.
And you don't send anything that can be traced to how someone can access your account. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
So when you send off you swipe your credit card, that how that payment data can be used to make other payments. So someone could steal your chip processor, through those little hacking devices they use.
Like going to the gas station.
Yep. But how the Bitcoin system, the network works is your public key you can never trace your private key from it.
Understood. That's what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no way they can, hack
That's why they don't lose
your
private
account.
Key.
Yeah. No, yeah. If you lose your private key, game over.
Yeah. That's kind of scary, right?
That's
like, do you trust yourself to, what if you had like millions?
And people see it as a con, and it is a con. And that's one of the things, bank services offer is your money stored there. Yeah. Kind of unless they close and don't have enough money to actually pay you out.
Absolutely. Then what?
Yeah. So
2009.
All right. So 2019 is going to be an interesting year, I think, is we're going to see a bunch of new blockchain companies roll out.
Absolutely.
And if you really remember 2018, you kind of saw a marketing style that everyone followed suit.
It was hard it got hard to market in the early part of 2018. It was a lot harder to do it, but 2017.
Oh yeah, and I think that was because a lot of stuff was just new.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of copied each other. So when it comes to marketing and building a brand, what are 3 tactics blockchain companies can use to improve their in-house marketing?
3 tactics. I'm going to combine 1 and 2. I'm going to say video marketing and combine that with influencer marketing. Blockchain, excuse me, like we talked earlier, blockchain is not really mainstream yet, right? I mean, you hear it every now and then. You'll hear a couple rap songs with it, but it's not really mainstream. If we start getting some of these influencers that are in front of all these kids who are on Instagram all day and on Twitter all day to come over to see exactly what it can do, how it can help, maybe they like a project that means something to them or can help someone, something like that. Who knows? But tie that into the video marketing and build your brand that way. I think that's 2, 1 and 2. And then my last one, is I'm going to kind of cheat here because it's not really how a blockchain company can use it, but it could be for any company. And that would be to make sure that they track and measure their analytics online.
So is there a particular website you like to track on?
Oh, you can do, obviously you can do Google Search Console or, Google Analytics. Yeah. You can do those. If you have, if you use certain services, they track analytics as well. Just make sure you know what they are. If you have a certain pop-up to come up, at the end of a visit when they X out of the screen, make sure it just, aligns with what you're looking for and not something else.
And Google Analytics is good. I'm kind of familiar with that myself. And at first, it seems kind of overwhelming because you got a lot of new terms. You got to learn like bounce rate, stuff like that. Yeah. And so it's not as difficult as you may seem. But I think you're right. You definitely need to track, what audience you have coming to your website and your traffic audience.
Google Analytics is great, and that's actually what you should start out with. Yeah. But Google Search Console, you can actually zoom into your website. I would say Google Analytics, you're on the a blimp view. If you're Google Search Console, you're like all the way zoomed in. I mean, you can look in every single page. You can look at pop-ups that you have scheduled. You can look at the analytics on those, everything like that. So those would be my 3, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, that's great advice. And what I just heard is something, any company, right. Startup, small companies, they can incorporate these tactics. This is nothing that you can't do. And that's awesome information right there.
Choo. So, but let's move on from that a little bit, okay?
So, one of our topics, we want to talk about the Tron Foundation.
That's what I was just getting ready to go for.
And I think we have to give a disclaimer, just for, SYA, is that we both have invested in Tron. Yeah. And so, don't take this as any sort of investment advice. It's just opinion.
Absolutely.
But just that disclaimer, we are investors, and I think that's important to know. I think that's important to know when you're listening to people talk about a certain coin. So.
Yeah, because I'm going to lean a certain way, but at the same time, I'm going to keep it real. Because for a while there, what was I saying?
Oh, yeah, we were both saying it. It's just... all they had was a bunch of kidnaps.
It was like, I saw a meme. It said something along the lines of, this is the announcement for the announcement. Like, all right,
it was for a long time a lot of talk.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and we're just talking about the network.
Right.
So one thing I think we need to talk about is the entire foundation. So this was founded by Justin Sun, the CEO, in September 2017.
Right. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're talking about the Tron Foundation. So one thing about Justin Sun is he is quite the businessman. Major crypto influence. Ex Ripple chief representative of China. Named to the Forbes 30 under 30 list. So quite a resume for this guy.
He was. What do they say? They call him something, but he was taught by Mr. Alibaba.
The CEO of Alibaba.
Yeah. Founder.
I can't remember his name, although I think he stepped down yet?
No, he did say he's retiring, but
yeah, Sun has Alibaba ties. Yeah. And that is one of the...
And do you remember... All right, let's not get off topic. Yeah. I could go... Let's go. Go ahead,
So the Tron Foundation has 70 employees and headquarters on 2 countries. All right, so this is not a major corporation.
It's a big, from what they started out from the end of 2017 to what they are now. Let's think about this. Excuse me, I got a little. Let's think about this though. Tron did not an ICO, but they did an airdrop, right? They released their coins out to the communities. People started gathering. They got on Binance. After they got on Binance, that's when everything started going off, I guess. But they built a blockchain. He built a team, built a blockchain, built a big, carved his space out in the industry in probably a little over a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, and people will say, oh, well, he had a bunch of money to use, but you still got to get stuff done.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at all the coins that have already shitted out already.
Yeah, and for a while, like we were saying, there's not really very many good apps. Now, that may be kind of biased because as an American fan base, who am I to say a kitty app isn't interesting?
Yeah, you're right,
maybe
you're right,
across the world, it's a them, but
yeah.
to my perspective, to our perspective for a while, we were just like, well, we don't see any good apps being put on there. But a lot of gambling. A lot of gambling apps been put on there. And you were telling me earlier that you think that's the big gateway to crypto is gambling.
On my face. I thought about that like maybe a month or so ago, but now I'm full blown. I really think that's it, 100%. Like you hear people say gaming is the next way is the way into blockchain.
Gambling is gaming.
That's exactly what I'm just about to say. That's how I feel. And I think
stakes are bigger.
And I think gaming is it.
Yeah. You keep hearing that gaming, and it's interesting arguments for it. But I definitely think you're right. Gambling is going to be a huge part of the crypto market because it just solves such a great purpose when it comes to gambling and transparency.
Let's do a podcast on fun.
We will. Yeah, we definitely need to put one out pretty soon.
Yeah,
be our next topic we cover.
Yeah, we will. I don't know if you guys know about fun, but check them out. Check it out. FUN.
And so, not to get too distracted from Tron, but talking about the TRX network, and it's very similar to like the Ethereum platform, where you can build decentralized applications off of it. And they keep talking about decentralizing the web. Now, I think it's mostly media and content. How
blockchain is going to just revolutionize marketing, but I think that's what he's talking about too.
And so before, he's got big hopes and anticipations, but at the end of the day, Facebook is just a website.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. You're really just using just one blockchain. There's so many out there, so I don't know if he's going to be able to decentralize the entire web, but I think it is going to play a major factor in, a lot of applications out there.
And so, do you know how many dApps they've made already?
I haven't checked.
Okay, so I don't know the exact number, but I did. We were going to their website for a while looking at this stuff, and it seemed to me like there was quite a few. But my question is when are they going to make one useful? Because in a sense, I think that's what he's talking about when he also says giving you the internet, because the dApp's kind of the internet,
Yeah, you're right, and I think it's going to be centralized around apps and content and stuff like that. I do think it's going to be one of the major cryptos out there. Yeah, so I think they had over like 1 million wallets in use.
I saw that, as well as they're also, I think, maybe top 5 in trading coins and their coin
market cap. Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah.
And now another coin that's up there is Stellar.
Man, I love Stellar.
And to me, Stellar has been a coin that's flown under the radar for probably a year now.
Still.
Yeah, and it's probably still flying under the radar. And so a couple things about Stellar. It's an open source protocol for exchanging money. Has a lot of similarities to Ripple, okay? But some of the major differences is what really separates the two coins. But it's founded by Jed McCaleb in 2014 and Joyce Kim. And I think Jed McCaleb worked for Ripple. And he broke off, correct?
He was co-founder.
He was co-founder.
He was co-founder of Ripple with, I think it was 2 or 3 other guys. I can't remember their name. The guys that are still there at Ripple now. Anyways, there was differences in how they wanted to go in
the
direction.
code consensus of the code, right?
Absolutely. One was going to be private, and one was going to be open source. You know, and one was centralized, whatever. But go ahead.
And I think Ripple focuses on like big institution, and I think Stellar was more for smaller, private, open worldwide. More, and I can tell you which one the private and which one the decentralized one. Stellar is the decentralized one because XRP's got control of more than what they say they do. But
I saw that. Do you know a lot about that?
Yeah, but that may be another topic because we want to stick with Stellar on this one. But you know a little bit more about the founder, Jed McCaleb.
A little bit. I know Joyce Kim didn't even. So she actually worked for for a different company.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what she was doing. I know she was a founder, but they ended up actually having ties. I guess they ended up getting married or something along those lines, and that's how they got together to build Stellar after him and Ripple started having differences. She kind of pulled him towards Stellar and talked him into making their own blockchain, and they co-founded it together. It was actually I read a pretty long article on that not too long ago.
And it's still a top 6 crypto, so it's
he's one of the founders, the early founders of crypto / Bitcoin. He was the founder of Mt. Gox, which it wasn't called. I don't think it was called Mt. Gox back then, and he had it. Maybe it was, but not when it went under. He didn't have it.
Yeah.
He had already sold it. So,
in case you don't know, so Bitcoin allows people to send money to each other without the need for a bank, and Stellar plays off that, but they're offering higher transaction speed, a little bit more efficiency, and lower cost. Although Bitcoin's really low to send right now, so that's kind of what Stellar is. It's just a little bit better tweak of it, and
I think I'm sorry not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Stellar might have the best partnerships out of any of them. I mean, IBM.
Yeah, that's a huge one right there.
I saw IBM's commercial during the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, that was the last Super Bowl, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
I did get excited when I saw that. I mean, you are right.
And they have their network spans. I mean, it's just massive all over the world as well. So let's move on a little bit. I liked doing last week the buy and sell segment we did.
Okay.
I like doing that. It kind of got me. Let's do it again.
All right. What you got? I'll let you throw a coin at me first.
Okay, so we kind of touched base on it earlier.
Okay.
And it was the first one I wrote down when we decided to do this. But that's fun.
Fun. I'm buying fun.
Yeah. I already know. I'm buying fun too.
I think when I first checked out fun, and this is one of the first, not the first, but one of the top coins that have a platform.
They already have a service.
And I remember when I was playing in their online casino for free, checking out their platform, just saying like this is a solution to a problem.
So what's the problem?
Okay, is online gambling. You don't really know if you're getting the odds that the casino is promising,
and you're not.
Yeah,
let's be real, you're not.
And a lot of them are overseas. So what do you do if you get cheated?
Nothing.
Who do you go tell?
You get cheated.
Yeah, you can't go call the police.
Yeah.
Write your politician.
And that's what blockchain does.
And so blockchain puts it in the consensus, puts it in the code. And if it's a decentralized blockchain, you should be able to look at the code and double check that you're getting the correct odds.
Yep.
And really, it allows for companies that may just audit it.
Yeah.
So, if you're an auditing company, you can give it your seal that this code's been checked and you're operating, correctly. And it solves a major problem. I'm buying.
Me too.
It's under a penny. It's like half of a cent. Yeah, it's cheap. When we first checked it out, it was like 3 cents.
When I first saw it, it was like 3 cents. That's right. When I first started reading about it, it was 3 cents.
And I think it jumped up to almost 7, 8. I don't remember.
It did. Yeah.
All right. I got one for you here. Litecoin.
Litecoin. I'm selling.
Why?
I'm selling one because its own founder and CEO sold all his coins. I sold.
I mean, you can't blame him.
I didn't sold because I never owned it, but I don't blame him.
He made a lot of money off of it.
I don't blame him whatsoever. But if
Yeah, you're right.
It says a lot.
You're right.
It says a lot, right? No, I'm selling.
If you're an investor, it's causes for concern.
My
for
thing
question.
is, it's how much is it faster than Bitcoin?
Uh,
I don't know if it is.
Bitcoin's moving fast.
Exactly. Right now it's moving. And I was trying to
Lightning
get
Network.
to it, but it's
All
gonna,
right,
I'm gonna say it's going to get even
stay
faster.
off the Lightning Network. Yes, you're right.
But Litecoin is just a slower Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Or a Bitcoin. I'm good.
Bitcoin
if
Junior.
I'm going to use crypto, I'll use Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Junior.
You know, God. All right. So my next one actually is Tel.
I'm buying.
Telcoin.
I mean, I did invest in the ICO, and although it has gone down since then,
It has.
that's okay.
I've actually
I bought more.
bought more.
I bought more. But I'm buying.
Okay.
Because they really do have a solution to a problem, getting a lot of unbanked people banking services. And there are other cryptos doing that, but
Straight to your phone too.
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Straight to your phone.
And what really interests me is their mesh system.
Yeah.
To be able to transfer money without the need for internet. So that I'm interested in that. I'm buying it. They are making some partnerships with telecoms. That's part of their plan.
They have one already, I believe.
And I think the market's just so big for what they're offering that there's enough to go around.
Massive.
Yeah, there's enough to go around.
Okay.
All right, I got one for you.
Let's hear it.
Stellite.
Oh man, I'm buying right now, man. One, because it's cheap, and two, because what they're trying to do is, I mean, it could, for people who mine, it could be, it could be revolutionary. I mean, you could literally be able to mine from your smart TV or your smartphone or your iPad, things like that. Maybe even a Bluetooth device eventually. Who knows?
You think you'd be able to mine efficiently enough to cover the electricity?
So they have some proprietary code that they have made up. I don't know what it is, but I did see. Now I don't know specifics on it, but I did see that it is a little bit more enhanced, and it can nothing like bit minutes. I don't know if y'all saw bit minutes, but
Nothing like that, huh?
Nothing like that shit. No, but it can enhance, and it's supposedly the energy. It is more energy efficient this way, and I'll have to get the specifics.
All right, what you got for me now?
But I'm buying it though. I'm buying. So I think I might ask you about these guys if you'll buy them almost every show.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you again because I love them. Pundy.
Oh yeah, I'm buying.
I literally ask you them every show.
And nothing's changed since the last time because they have product out there and they're giving people direct access to their product with their POS systems.
Buy.
Yeah, so I'm buying, especially at this price. And they do airdrop you coins for being a token holder. So, I mean, if you're a dividend investor.
Did we explain that already? We did explain.
Yeah, we'd explain already. I mean, it's just a dividend.
I was gonna say real quick.
Is.
Yeah, you get what is it? 7.5% of however many coins you own. You get that per month. 7.5% of that a month.
Yeah.
So
I'm buying it. All right. I got one more for you. You ready for this last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
All right. BAX.
Man. I'm not buying, but I'm not selling. I did invest in the ICO, but I'm just
holding.
I'm just holding.
You're holding.
I'm just holding it for hope. I mean, I got a heart. Who knows? I mean, I see a lot of different things with them. I do see that they do keep in contact with their community a lot, which is good. So they're constantly making vlogs to let us know what type of what is it called when you have to get something through the government, some sort of approval?
Oh, just get their stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I did see whenever they get their vlogging and they do that stuff, they post their videos about how it went and what they have to do next. So they do good there, but they've asked for money from like the community like 3 different times.
Yeah, You're right.
I don't know what that was.
They keep raising money, and I know what they're trying to do is expensive, but that's where you start concerning yourself as an investor. How much more money do you need to keep raising?
Their ICO was in December, I think,
Yeah,
of 2017.
Yeah. It's been over a year.
So how much was Ethereum in December of 2017?
Oh,
So
it was way up there.
They made a lot of money. So however much
Now, if they converted it to fiat at the time,
I don't know how, but what my point is they made a lot of money off that ICO. You know, you burned through that doing what?
My only argument for them would be, I guess it costs a lot of money to get all those banking licenses, and
but who knows? They might not have burned through. I don't know.
But they were trying to go public.
Yeah.
And if they do become a public company, you know, it kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen to the BAX token. Because at some point, when are investors going to see a return on that investment? That's what we start thinking about as an investor.
What would even happen to that?
The main hope for us is that they're kind of like they're trying to get banking services to the 2 billion unbanked people across the world.
True.
And so if people start using that currency, you know, it'll drive the value of it up.
They had to start using it though.
And so and we'll see what happens.
They got how many?
And right now, BAX is still an ERC20 token.
True.
But you know, talking about burning through money. With BAX, I think it has a lot to do with how they set up their company.
How did they set it up?
Well, I mean, they're kind of acting like they're basically a bank.
Yeah.
And, you know, banks, they got to have nice offices and,
you
know, expensive real estate and fancy painting on the walls and stuff like that. So, you know, hire a big staff.
Too. They do spend the money on the marketing.
Yeah, so that's, you know, you wonder where that money goes, and that's what eats a lot of it up.
I wonder how much they spend over there on marketing. Because now that I think about it, you know, they're vlogging and their social media presence.
I bet it's a bunch. They definitely burn through money somewhere. You know, we start talking about companies, you know, burning through money. We start looking at major ways blockchain companies can increase their profits.
Oh yeah, so how would you structure your organization remotely?
You know, I think that's one of the biggest ways to reduce your cost of your operating costs.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you don't have to rent an office out, you don't have to pay for all the equipment inside an office and all the stuff that goes along with it. You just hire people to work remotely, like a lot of companies are doing. You don't have to pay rent. You know, you don't have to pay.
Absolutely.
That's just less overhead costs on your office space. You don't have one.
Nobody, you know, electricity, none of that shit.
Yeah, nothing. No utility bills. You don't have to have insurance on the building, stuff like that. And a lot of companies, you know, they're going remote. And as you would figure, as a online blockchain organization, especially as a small startup, maybe medium-sized business, why wouldn't you go
save as much money as you can?
Yeah, why wouldn't you go remote?
Why not just do it out of your garage?
Because the people you hire, I mean, they should be good with technology and know how to operate. And work.
From my experience in engineers, they would much rather work remote anyway.
Oh, wouldn't everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's one major thing I look at is, you know, if you're starting up as a blockchain company or you're a small blockchain organization and you want to increase your profits, well, one way to increase your profits is reduce your costs. And
work your ass at home.
Yeah, not having not paying rent every month, not paying a utility bill is a major chunk of profits lost every single month and every single year.
And you don't need to be in the heart of downtown.
And so, and that's one thing we see. You know, that's where Ripple's at.
Yeah.
And so, how much does that office space burn through?
It's like you don't have to be in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, not anymore. Those days are over with.
You don't even have to be in Austin, Texas.
With all this technology, no reason you can't work remotely. So especially if you're starting up, get rid of the office. You know, get an online meeting. Tons of websites you could do, and that's one thing we work. And that's one thing we help companies do is their, you know, remote management, how to manage your corporation remotely and set it up for success. And I think a lot of blockchains can incorporate our ideas.
Absolutely. So, lastly, you know what this weekend is?
Talking about the NFL playoffs.
You already know. You already know.
All right, so who you taking, Seattle versus Dallas?
I got Dallas.
Oh yeah, why are you going with Dallas?
I think they're just a better overall team. defensively, and I think our defense is going to stop their offense.
Yeah,
I think we're going to shut down Russell Wilson.
I'm going with Dallas. I think our defense will get after Seattle at home.
Dallas plus 10.
Plus 10?
I think they're going to beat them by 10.
Oh, damn.
I'm thinking 31-21.
Plus 10.
31-21.
What's the spread?
I don't know. I think Cowboys maybe, if I had to guess, I'm saying 4.
Dang, I didn't know it was that much. If this was on the road, I'd probably be a lot more worried. But I think our offense is better than their offense.
I'm so nervous. Don't get me wrong.
And Earl Thomas beat us last time.
Absolutely.
It was the Earl Thomas
Effect.
show, and he destroyed and he's not on the team anymore. So I got us.
Philly and Chicago.
I'm going Chi-Town. Philly's decimated.
Where at? Hey, hold on. Let me hear you give me this reason because I need to know if I need to change my answer or not.
First of all, it's in Chicago.
Yep.
Chicago's playing super great football. Defense is a monster. Philly is down to like their 8th-string cornerback. And
you right.
Just being on the road, squeezing in the playoffs.
Squeezing.
I mean, 2 teams had to lose for them to get in.
Okay,
so I have to go with the Bears at home.
Okay, so all day today, I was looking at this game, or thinking about this game, because the guy at work had actually talked to me about it too, and I told him, I was like, man, Philly, I think Philly's going to beat that game. But after thinking about it, I really do think Chicago's going to beat them. That defense
I think Chicago's
is tight, Mike Tyson ferocious. You know what I'm saying?
They're nasty.
And if Eddie Jackson plays safety, it's a real different. I mean, it's already bad. They got those linebackers.
I definitely think Chicago's going to dominate.
Yeah.
Okay. L.A. at Baltimore.
The Chargers. Go Chargers. The Chargers and Baltimore. Baltimore beat the Chargers like 2-3 weeks ago.
Baltimore's on a roll, man.
They have defense too.
Especially here where they saved Harbaugh's job.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore at home. Just because they beat them so soundly last time. That game meant a lot to the Chargers last time too. Like they really needed to win to get like the number 1 seed and stuff, and they didn't even look good.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Taking the Chargers? Okay.
Year of Phillip Rivers.
I hope so.
It's his moment.
I hope so.
He's got to do it.
I like Phillip.
Got to do it.
You know, he's a good dude. He's a great father.
It's a wicked fight, though.
It is. If he beats them, he's something else. Okay. All right. Indy at Houston.
I'm going Indy. Indy's playing great football.
Great ball, right? I know. I'm going with Indy too.
And Houston.
I think Houston's the underdog at home. And they got a squad.
Yeah, last time they played,
the offensive line is good.
And the Indy defense destroyed the Cowboy defense, and that was kind of a setup game for the Cowboys after on that roll. You know, you knew they were due for a butt whipping.
I think that was a setup.
But they scored a lot of points on that good defense.
God, we're biased.
Houston, to me, is probably the worst division winner I've seen in a long time.
They statistically have the worst rated offensive line.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson's got him out of too much stuff. I think he can't save him this time.
He's so cold, though, dude.
And, you know, they got some injuries at wide receiver, and I think that's going to be a big factor. And Indy's just playing great. I mean, Andrew Luck, they really got that offense going. And defense really stepped it up. So I'm going Indy.
So if Indy goes, that means we'll see the Indianapolis Colts at the Patriots. If Chargers go, Chargers will see the Chiefs, divisional rival. Who do we pick? Chicago? We both pick Chicago. Mm-hmm. Chicago goes, they'll see the Saints in New Orleans, and if we go, we'll see.
Dallas goes to the Rams.
I'll go to the Rams.
Yeah, I think I think Dallas got a good path.
I'll go to the Rams.
Now if they can win those 2 games, going to New Orleans.
I was kind of hoping.
Or Chicago. That's gonna be rough.
I'd rather go to Chicago. I know it's gonna be cold as hell.
Cowboys' key to victories, they got to run Dak.
Run Dak.
When they move him, good things happen.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to Thursday Night Crypto. Check us out at Crusader.com. Check out our blog at Crusader.com/BlockNation.
I'm Zach Lowry.